today for the Bitcoin price. And yes, guys, I am here for the first time since a long time with a live video on Bitcoin, with an emergency live video on Bitcoin. And I can tell you one thing, I'm gonna go into the charts. I have prepared here something for you. I am going to show you my multi-million US dollar trade on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, and much, much more. But more importantly is to cover the recent happenings, to cover what is happening for Bitcoin right now, and to determine, are we going to break the 32,000 US dollar price levels? And are we finally going to enter into that bull market stage, hitting higher price levels, which I am going to talk about in that video? Or are we going to get once more a rejection and a continuation of this horrible sideways market? Let's talk about that. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are going to jump into the technicals very shortly. First of all, I wanted to welcome everyone joining in here. I'm in Singapore right now, sitting in my living room, and I thought, well, the price is going crazy. I have to talk about Bitcoin. We already have 1,000 people here almost within like a minute or something. It's mind-blowing, especially considering that I haven't done videos live for some time. What you can do before we are going into the charts, before we are going into that, before we are going into my trades, which I'm going to show you right now. We are going to talk about the trades as well right now. Right now, raking in almost 1.5 million US dollars in a profit. And we didn't even break resistance yet. People are asking me, okay, Chris, nice. But I missed it. I missed it when you entered this trade at, I think, first I opened this trade here at 17,000, and I know many of you watched it, but it was the deepest bear market, so I had fewer viewers, and I think maybe maximum every second person watching this right now has seen that. So many people ask me, Chris, what to do right now? If I'm standing on the sidelines, should I jump into a trade right now or should I wait? This is also something I want to talk about today. I have a lot of very important things to discuss, not only price targets, not only the prediction whether Bitcoin is going to break 32,000 US dollars, this very important resistance level, which I'm also going to be talking about, price targets, my game plan trading wise, step by step. And of course, I want to show you a little bit later in that video something which I'm holding a speech tomorrow on a big crypto conference, which is happening in Dubai. And I want to talk about some things which are a little bit unconservative, things which no one really is talking about, but things which I really want you to put your eyeballs on. Now, I want to start here with that video. We have 2,000 people almost watching. Okay, let's go straight into the content. I just wanted to wait a little bit until everyone is joining here. Thank you so much for your patience. The only thing before I'm going into the technical analysis, that's the first thing where I want to talk about exactly where Bitcoin is at, what is happening, and what has to happen for Bitcoin to break 32,000 price targets and everything. I want to ask everyone who joined this video here so far. First of all, thank you very much for that. If you could like that video, we have 2,000 people in here, but 350 likes. If everyone could go down below, you don't have to do it. I still appreciate, you can still watch. You don't have to like, but you would really help me. It doesn't cost you anything. Like the video down below. And if you want to take it a step further, if you got any value out of these videos, if you joined with me a long position at 17,000, or if you got any other kind of value out of these videos, if you appreciate it, please share the video on Twitter, on Telegram. To YouTube tracks these backlinks. They can see if you are sharing the video. I'm sorry, it's a little bit late here in Singapore, 1 a.m. If you're sharing these videos on social media, they see the backlinks and the YouTube algorithm appreciates it. I appreciate it. And we are getting more people in that family. So if you could share and comment down below, that would be beautiful. So now let's go into it. I think you've been waiting for way too long and I want to go here straight into the chart. And just quickly to give you some orientation, I wanted to go on with the laptop, then with this. Both of them got some liquid into the charging thing, so it takes some time to charge them. So I have to go on with my phones here and do some TA with you straight here from the living room. No other choice, but that doesn't mean that we can't do some nice sophisticated TA. Of course, it would be a little bit better on the computer, but whatever, right? So let's talk about this. And what you can see here is Bitcoin on the weekly candles. And that is a beautiful thing. First of all, of course, nothing surprising here that Bitcoin is still testing the resistance. And for everyone, it feels like a bull market. I can tell you, and you know, I'm the most bullish person in the universe. This is not a bull market yet. If you want to divide in bull and bear market, of course, the bear market goes from top to bottom, and then the bull market goes from the bottom to the next top, right? I would rather, to make it a little bit easier for people to understand, say bull market is this, bear market is this, and what we have right here is a transitionary market, right? And to break out of the transitionary market, this is a Picasso drawing. To break out of the transitionary market, we need to break key market structure. We need to break this very important resistance. This is not new to you if you are subscribed to the MMCrypto channel, but this important support became very new and very important resistance, right? 32,000 US dollars it is. And actually right now, we did not even break the previous high. What I would say is the most important point of interest is 32,000 US dollars. 32,000 US dollars is the level to break, not on the daily, I would even say on the weekly. Because we are talking about key market structure to be broken, because we are talking about Bitcoin transitioning from a transitionary market into a bull market, we can wait these little few more days just to make sure, especially if we want to put a significant amount of money on stake. Then I would say, let's wait for the weekly to break. Here you can see the trade I am having open right now. Bitcoin itself is at 31,000 US dollars. This is the trade on Bitcoin I'm having open. You can see 41, 42 Bitcoin give or take. My entry price is now 21,900 because I was scaling this trade higher. I was starting at 17, but of course I added more liquidity into that later on. Liquidation price still below 20,000. That was important for me. I am most likely not going to add any more liquidity to that trade before we are not breaking 32,000. Bitcoin is not breaking 32,000 on the weekly yet. This trade is, as you can see, right now at it accumulated fees in the last 8 or 9 months. It's actually pretty reasonable, not that crazy. 111,000 US dollars. That was 9 months of trading fees on a position size of 3.1 million, right? The unrealized profits is 1.3 million. So if I were to close that right now, I would have approximately 1.2 million US dollars in a profit. I'm keeping it open and I'm gonna talk about why. The Ethereum trade, I opened it at 1,582. The current price is 1,684. 288% in a profit, low funding fees, and 47,000 US dollars. Low funding fees because I just opened it recently. This is not something to copy because we are talking about a 49x isolated margin. This is gambling, guys. This was for fun. It is very low margin. It was for fun. I don't even know how this turned out to be a successful trade. It was for fun. Please, guys, don't copy this stuff. 49x leverage is not something to be copied. It's crazy. But of course, now I'm keeping it open, right? It's beautiful. And this one is a very serious trade. This is a trade which I was planning all along, since a long, long time. I mean, I was actually... I did the same thing in 2020, 2021. You all remember, I opened a trade at 9,000 US dollars for Bitcoin. People were laughing at me. They were almost spitting while laughing. Me opening this trade in the midst of that bear market, transitionary market. Well, what happened afterwards? These trades went to 1.2, 1.5, respectively 2.4 million US dollars on another trade into a profit. No one was laughing anymore at this point. When I opened this trade just after the FTX crisis, people were still laughing at me, even though I was saying, hey guys, I am opening this trade. Let me actually go in here. I am opening this trade because Bitcoin was once more breaking key market structure. Let me show you. The reason why I opened it, and I really want to explain it in detail here, is Bitcoin was breaking this downtrend. You can see here this long downtrend. The moment Bitcoin broke it, Right here, you can see it was at 17,000 something US dollars. This is a little bit unprecise. The moment it broke it, I went into the long position. It's very clear. It is, of course, not always clear. I mean, I got liquidated 2 times before, right? This new trade completely made up for it. Of course, full transparency, I got liquidated before. I can't time it always perfectly, but I can at least, I know at least I shouldn't enter here into a long position, here into a new long position. I waited a little bit, got liquidated 2 times, but that I knew always when I get liquidated, I'm gonna go in at a new support with higher liquidity, and I did that. And eventually, of course, with this strategy, it works out for me. This is how it worked out the last time, right? When Bitcoin broke higher here and here, and then eventually after breaking here into the C dump in beginning of 2020, I went into this beautiful new long position once we broke right there, key market structure, and before we went off to the races. So now we are here in this trade, and the question is, what is going to happen now? What has to happen for us to, of course, a bet on higher prices? And if we break this level, which I mentioned on 32,000 US dollars, what is the next price target? And this is what I want to talk about now. Before I go into it, dear ladies and gentlemen, we have already 2,500 people watching here live, which is crazy considering that this is a bear market. I mean, I'm looking at other live streams, and this is a number which is very difficult to achieve in crypto during a bear market. And I truly appreciate it. Every single one who is here, I want to make sure you do not regret watching this live video. I want to make sure you don't regret watching until the very end, because I have prepared some beautiful sprinkles of insights for you. So please like this video and share it with your friends so we can make sure that we get this juice from the algorithm. So first of all, let's talk about what would be the next price target if Bitcoin were to break 32,000. And please understand, it's always an if thing. We know, okay, if we don't break it, we don't enter into a long position. If we don't break it, we are not increasing our position size. I just showed you my 3.1 million US dollar trade. I'm not going to increase the position size until we are breaking it. If we break it, okay, did we break it? Check mark. Did we break it on the weekly? Check mark. Is there enough volume? Check mark. Then B happens and we do B. This is what a sophisticated trader is doing. We have an exact preset game plan and we are sticking to that to exclude emotions to a degree which is the maximum possible. That is exactly what I want to teach you. So now, what is the next price target for Bitcoin? Let's talk about that. First of all, I want to always keep it as easy as possible. That's why you see I'm even removing the grid lines. I just want to make it as easy as possible for you to understand, because in the end, easy wins the game. Easy wins the game. We have shown it time and time again as MMCrypto family. You can see it from bottom to top, the Fibonacci retracement level. The next one would be somewhere around the 38.2, 35,000, 36,000 US dollars. Now, of course, the question is, do we have confluence with that level, 35, 36,000, a level which some people are actually claiming? Well, let's see. Let's see. Let's pull out the VPVR and let's see what is the volume telling us. What is the volume telling us? Where is the next volume resistance coming in? And of course, no big surprise, kind of the VPVR point of control. I mean, it's not really the point of control. The point of control here is at the bear market low, but we definitely have another very important cluster of resistance here on the volume candles right there, somewhere around the levels of, 31, 32,000, exactly where we had this long accumulation phase. So now, where's the next one? Right here, as you can see, 36,000 US dollars is the next cluster of resistance. And there we have some confluence at least coming together already at the VPVR volume profile, and also at the Fibonacci extension levels, yes. 36,000, 35 to 36,000 would be the next level to look out for. So if you were to trade the break of 32,000, wait. If you trade it on the daily, wait for the daily close. Of course, I'm here in a weekly trade. I'm in a position trade. If you trade it on the daily, wait on a daily close. Enter that trade. on your own risk, of course. And then my personal next profit-taking area would be round about the levels of 36,000. As you know, we always take profits before the price target, so 35,800. But here's the deal. That is only TA. What I think is going to happen when we break 32,000, and by the way, before I'm going into that, I wanted to remind you, if you want to be trading that, in the pinned comment down below, it's pinned here in the live video. You can see it in the chat. There's a link. You can click it. Also, in the video description should be a link. Click register deposit. Use the one in the pinned comment. It's definitely the correct one because that's the new one, which I just included. Click register deposit. You can claim up to 30,000 US dollars for free. So now, I said if we break 32,000 US dollars. I think the price target would be 35,800. This is when I only look at the chart. What you have to understand is 32,000 has been support for 1.5 years. It has been now resistance for months. And that's just us floating around this resistance. It has been, of course, resistance ever since before we retested it. That is such an important level, and the bears are defending it. If Bitcoin breaks 32,000 decisively in a confirmed manner, I would go into a bet with another crypto YouTuber if they want to join on that bet within a week, 2, maybe 3 weeks. And that's I'm just saying because I want to increase a little bit the odds of me winning. I think it's very likely that Bitcoin would knock out 40,000. I'm not telling you, wow, we are going to break 32,000 this week. Actually, it became much more possible than just last week. I think it's very possible. And that's also what I was talking about earlier. I said if last week on Sunday, I said if tomorrow's Monday breaks 27, we have a very high likelihood within that week to retest 30,000. You can see it on Twitter. You can see it on the last or the one before the last YouTube video. What happened? Monday we broke 27. Friday we retested 30,000. Perfect. Whoever watched it, let me know here in the comment section down below if you saw that prediction. That was beautiful. So now I'm telling you, if we break 32,000, it's always an if. I can't tell you. I'm not Nostradamus. And I just can't tell you. We are going to break it for sure. But of course, with every retest, it gets more likely. The more often resistance is tested, the more likely it is to be broken. Every time we are testing resistance, we are weakening the bears defending the resistance. So if we break it, and now it's much more likely than the time before, I think the time is pretty much ticking for the Bitcoin bears. I think within a week, let it be 2 or 3, just to increase my odds, we are going to knock out 40,000. This is going to be such a big release. You can compare it with Bitcoin breaking in 2019, something around, I think it was in April, the 4,200 level, boom, 50% pump to 6,400. That is something similar like this. Of course, not a 50% pump, something like 20, 25, 30% pump is possible within 1, 2, 3 weeks. That is something I truly believe in. I want to go, of course, more into detail and show you some of these gems I have prepared for you here. I can see the number of views is still increasing. That is really beautiful. If you're watching this video right now, I would love to incentivize you or ask you, well, I can see here a lot of people actually saying breaking point. We will break through this resistance. I love to see that bullishness. Leave some comments down below. I will read some of your comments if you make noise in the comment section right now. And if you're watching this, please, if you're somewhere, you can retweet it on Twitter. You can post it on WhatsApp, in a WhatsApp group to friends. Just bring more people into that live stream. That would be really beautiful. I mean, we want to see here if Bitcoin is going to make some serious and important moves. Good news, Chris. I'm gonna go here into some very interesting data which I prepared for you. Just wanted to make sure here quickly that, yeah, perfect. We love VLaunch. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Launch pads are, of course, not the best in a bear market. If we break 32,000, that will be beautiful. And the launches are gonna are gonna trickle down on our heads, and that is something I'm personally looking out for, man. It was such a boring time. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. We are definitely working on it. Bring bull into my life. We love you, brother. Beautiful. Maltese Islands, I have 30,000 in Bitcoin. Congratulations. Amazing, Chris. Super stream. Wow, beautiful. Amazing. Let's go straight into it. I love all of your comments, man. You are really, really amazing, guys. So I want to show you two things. It's a little bit unconservative and something I'm going to talk about tomorrow in a very big crypto event where I'm actually nominated for the third time in a row from different institutions to the influencer of the year. Something really I'm very, very proud of, and I'm really, really happy. And yeah, thank you for you guys always voting for me. It's really amazing. But now, off topic. Tomorrow at this conference, I prepared something and I wanted to talk about how to master Bitcoin trading. And to master Bitcoin trading, you can't be only doing what everyone else is doing. As we know, the majority of people are losing in crypto. They are losing in, not necessarily in crypto. I mean, if you're a holder, it's pretty easy. If you are trading on top of that, on trading, most of the people are losing. Let's be very honest about that. And what I think is a very undervalued, very, very powerful tool for trading, which I'm using here on that channel, which is position trading, outperforming the market on the higher time frames, timing the market, going into long positions at the bear market bottom, somewhere close to the bear market bottom, and opening trades like, let me quickly go back into it, trades like this. This Bitcoin trade here right now at 1.3 million US dollars in a profit. The Ethereum trade, 47,000 US dollars in a profit. Opening trades like this, right? That is something which you can take indications into consideration, which no one is really doing. Indications and indicators, which I really ask myself, why are not more people using that? For the first time in history, we have an asset like Bitcoin where we can go into the decentralized order book basically and see how many people are holding Bitcoin in a profit, how many people are holding Bitcoin in a loss, how many people are profitable, how many whales are holding Bitcoin, are whales selling right now, are whales buying right now. We have a whole database on the Bitcoin blockchain giving us extremely valuable information as to where we are in that market. And that is something I want to look into right now with you. And I have it much more detailed in that presentation I'm holding tomorrow in the Dubai conference. But first of all, let's talk about two of these very important ones. And these two were helping me to determine, hey, we are getting close to a Bitcoin bear market. These indications were helping me to say, hey, maybe you should open now your position trade on Bitcoin. And these indications are telling me right now what is most likely going to happen in the next few days and weeks. So now let's go straight into that. And please, guys, we had 1.2 thousand likes. Can we get 1,500 likes? I would really appreciate that. And of course, it just really helps to spread out the message here. So first of all, let's talk about this. What you can see here, and this is something I talked about before, is the realized price. Afterwards, I want to show you something else. First of all, let's talk about the realized price. The black line here is the Bitcoin price. The blue circles, these blue squares, they are showing you just the bottom area, right? Like where the Bitcoin bear market is ending. Afterwards, the upper run. Not so important. The most important is the black area, the black line, and the orange line. The orange line is the realized price for Bitcoin. The realized price for Bitcoin is the sum or the average of the Bitcoins moved at this specific period of time. It's the realized price taken from the Bitcoin blockchain. What you can see here is that every single time the Bitcoin price goes below the realized price, that is when you can close your eyes and buy basically blindly. At least in history, it was the case. That was here in 2011. Then you can see in 2015, beautiful, right? 2019. We broke below $3,100. Boom, triggered, buy, let's go. And you might say, well, history is not going to repeat like that. It can't be that easy. Well, If you look at Bitcoin on-chain metrics, it is basically that easy. Of course, until it's not. But at least still at the moment, it is that easy. So here you can see in 2022, end of 22, 23, we broke below again, right? Of course, you could have bought right here, 22,000, and then we broke lower to 15,000. But the matter of fact is, if you bought below the bottom every single time, you would be up tremendously just shortly after. That is a beautiful indicator. And that is just the first one, of course. Many people are saying ETF, please. Of course, we want to talk about the ETF also. First of all, I wanted to talk about this here because pretty interesting what's happening right now. Another on-chain metric, which is telling me, hey, not only we hit the Bitcoin bottom, we exited the bear market phase. Not only that, it is actually telling us right now, Bitcoin is on the verge of breaking out to the new Bitcoin bull market. Bitcoin is on the verge of ending this horrible, boring, transitionary phase. And this is this specific indicator, the realized HODL ratio. What we can see here, they call it our HODL ratio, is the amount of new hands and old hands holding Bitcoin, what you can see here, and that is also taken from the Bitcoin blockchain. So the more new hands are holding Bitcoin, the more Bitcoin is going from old legacy whale long-term holding hands into new hands, because the smart money is starting to sell to the new money, the higher this orange line goes. So the higher the orange line goes, the more new hands are holding Bitcoin compared to old hands. The more, I don't want to say it, but that is the correct term for it. The dump money is holding majority of the Bitcoin. Well, don't feel attacked by that, because if you're watching that video right now, you are right here in the smart money section. That is the smart money section. And you can see there is a resistance zone every single time. And the moment we are breaking it is the moment we are starting for the weak hands to sell to the strong hand, from the strong hands to sell to the weak hands. More or less, every single time we are breaking the resistance zone is the time Bitcoin starts this parabolic up phase. And right now, Bitcoin is breaking it. Right now, you can see we are at this exact moment where Bitcoin is trying to break out from the transitionary phase into the bull market phase. So let me quickly see where the Bitcoin price is actually. 31,000 still. So don't expect too much. I'm not saying we are going to break 32,000 today, but I'm telling you it's much more likely that we are going to break it, and we are going to, thank you very much, guys. I see so many nice comments here. We are going to break it most likely a little bit faster than everyone thinks. And I said before, October, November is most likely going to be the time. And I'm still sticking with that. Just quickly, maybe you can leave me some beautiful comments here in the comment section down below. Some questions which I can answer. We can, of course, talk about the ETF. Beautiful water. About the ETF and many more things. I would love to see what you guys have to say about that. By the way, if you're watching this video here right now, you can actually, let me quickly go down below. If you want to be trading as well, you need to be an experienced trader. I don't want that every one of you is just jumping into trading. Not everyone should be a trader. Of course, we talk about the long-term movements for Bitcoin. We will talk about altcoins as well. This channel is about more things. By the way, if you're not subscribed yet, go down below and press the subscription button. I want to make sure that you only trade if you know what you're doing. But if you are a trader, if you want to be trading, well, you might as well use my link in the pinned comment. It is right here in the pinned comment. You might as well use my link. If you click this link, click register deposit, you can get up to 30,000 US dollars for free. This is the highest bonus on YouTube as far as I'm concerned. I think it's even 30,050 US dollars or something. Click register deposit, you can claim this bonus and you can trade with the bonus and with the profits, and only the profits from that trade as well, as the margin is of course there to trade to generate profits, but you can't just claim 30,000 US dollars and then withdraw the margin bonus. No, that's not possible. You can use that margin bonus open a free trade basically on 10x leverage, that's 300,000 US dollars in a free trade, and the generated profits you can withdraw from the exchange. If this trade goes bad, of course, it's just the margin bonus, right? That is the thought behind it. That doesn't mean still that any beginner here should go and claim this bonus, because once you claim the bonus, okay, then, okay, maybe I should put in some of my own money, and you don't know what you're doing. You know, like, it can go bad. So please make sure you know what you're doing. If you are, click this link here in the video description. So now let's talk about what's going on. Many people are saying the ETF should be coming. Bitcoin doesn't need the ETF. That's very important to understand. I think an ETF is going to come almost 100%. I mean, it's basically 100%, but you never say 100% as a trader. So almost 100% this ETF is going to come. I agree. The question is, when is it going to come? Many people are talking about this week. Possible? It's definitely possible, and I'm not that much in that ETF topic to tell you it is going to come this week for sure or not going to come this week. What I think is that it's just a little bit unlikely. If the ETF is coming now, there is so many people who can make a profit from it, because it's the most easily accessible tool to get a hold of physical Bitcoin, because it's a physically backed ETF. What I think would be more likely, just from experience talking, looking at the CME futures back in the days and so on, is that an ETF, a spot ETF for Bitcoin, is going to be approved somewhere further into the bull market. And then the crowd is going to come in. And of course, all the smart money is going to offload on them. This is usually how it's working. That is what I'm expecting for Bitcoin, for the Bitcoin ETF. And I hope I'm not right. That would be beautiful if I'm wrong on that. And if the Bitcoin ETF is going to be announced, like approved tomorrow, I'm going to be extremely happy. Don't get me wrong about that. So, Chris Live, the bull market is on. Yeah, that's how it feels, right? I was always live in the last bull market. If there is a bear market, if we just go sideways, there's just no point. Right now, there is a big point to it. And well, we have 2,223 people watching right now. That is beautiful. There was just no point. Of course, now I'm going into it, and I'm going to do that much more often as the time passes, because, man, I can tell you guys, I can smell it already coming. I can smell it coming, as I was always smelling it before. Of course, sometimes I'm a little bit early with my bullishness, but in the end of the day, this model, it just does not disappoint. It doesn't disappoint, and it's not disappointing again. Please remember one thing. If we break 32,000 US dollars, it's gonna go crazy. Someone is asking me here down below, is it smart to open a bull signal, MMS live? Is it smart to open a long position right now? I don't think so, to be honest. If you open a long position right now, of course, the state of the market is bullish. Of course, we are in the beginning of a week, and the Monday pump in the beginning of the week, beautiful. But we have so strong resistance above us. Do you want to open this trade and basically 2% higher than we are right now, somewhere around 31,800, very strong resistance is going to come in? I wouldn't open a trade right now. If you're in a trade like me, perfect. I'm going to keep that one open, especially since my liquidation price is below 20,000 US dollars. But to open a new trade right now, like, for example, on a 10x leverage, can Bitcoin go down to 27,000 US dollars and liquidate you before we are breaking 32,000? And not the most likely scenario, but it's a very possible and not an extremely unlikely scenario. I don't think opening a trade right now would make sense. I think what makes sense is to wait for the resistance to break. Just lean back and wait a little bit. Yeah, stocks are crashing. It's crazy. Stocks are going down. I saw a video on Alessio Rastani. He's actually pretty bearish on Bitcoin right now. Stocks are going down. Bitcoin is going up. That is, for me personally, a good thing. I never really wanted to rely on a positive correlation between the stock market and crypto. It's just no point to it, right? We still have a pretty positive correlation in general on the US dollar index and Bitcoin, but also this has to break at one point of time. None of these positive correlations are going to stay. Nothing is like Bitcoin. And we do have to understand that eventually Bitcoin is going to decouple from everything. It doesn't mean that it will go higher forever. I'm just telling you there is going to be a transitionary period where some kind of decoupling is going to take place here. So what else do we have here? Wow, so many positive comments, and that is in a bear market or like below 32,000, and we already so positive here. That is amazing. People are asking who spit in your face. Yeah, I always say like people are laughing and almost spitting at me. It's more like a running gag, but people were laughing. That is actually true. And I could imagine they were spitting on their screens, but for sure, like people were laughing. Someone is saying, I think this will be a legitimate breakout unless we are seeing a black swan event. Yeah, there's unfortunately a lot of horrible things happening in the world right now. I don't want to get political here with like Gaza, Palestine, but I really, really hope for peace. And completely aside from any prices or something, peace is the way to go. We have to understand we are all brothers and sisters, and if you really think about from that viewpoint, it's so ludicrous. Any type of war, any type of violence of people against each other, it's just like insane. But yeah, we have all the time the possibility of a black swan event. Unfortunately, now much more than 20 years ago, 30 years ago, than in the Cold War. It's like much more likely. So that can always happen. But do you want to live in constant fear? Do you want to live in like constant anticipation of a black swan event and then just sit back and do nothing? That's definitely not what I want to do, right? So what is happening here? Any other questions? You know what? It's almost 2 p.m. at 2 a.m. I really have to go to sleep. But that was a beautiful live stream. Dear ladies and gentlemen, if you watch this until the very end, beautiful. I really appreciate every single one of you. You can go down below, pin comment, video description, click register deposit, claim this link, but more importantly, be subscribed to the channel. Subscribe, press the bell and press on all to make sure that you are here when the next video comes. You do not want to be a slave to the YouTube algorithm. You want to decide yourself what videos you are watching. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And we are going to see each other very soon at the next one of MMCrypto. As always, guys, as always, bye. Bye.